We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
Imagine reaching the pinnacle, fame, fortune, influence, all in your hands, only to feel it start slipping through your fingers in an instant. The spotlight, once a source of power, turns unforgiving. For scene Diddy comes, the glare may be too intense. Here is a man who defined an era in the music industry, an icon credited with shaping hip-hop and amassing vast wealth, now entangled in a series of accusations and scandals that threaten to dismantle everything he's built. How does someone go from legendary status to standing in a courtroom, fighting to defend his freedom and reputation?
I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell, right?
To truly grasp how Diddy's story spiraled into what some are calling one of the most shocking downfalls in music history, you have to go back and examine the empire he built. Bad Boy Records wasn't just a record label, it was a cultural force. With artists like the notorious Big, Faith Evans, and other rising stars, Diddy's vision didn't just create chart-topping hits, it sparked an entire movement. Fans didn't just listen to the music, they lived it. Bad Boy was more than a name. It was an identity, an attitude, a lifestyle for millions. Through this powerhouse brand, Diddy amassed a 9-figure fortune, solidifying his place among hip-hop's wealthiest icons. But the higher the climb, the harder the fall. As disturbing new details continue to emerge, the empire he once ruled now looks more fragile than ever.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
The whispers and rumors began quietly, small voices scattered here and there. But as accusations started to stack up, they became impossible to ignore. Former friends, employees, and close associates are now stepping forward, each revealing a darker side to Diddy's world. A place where fame and fortune intersected with secrecy and power in shocking, unsettling ways. For a man who once seemed untouchable, the reality now paints a stark contrast. A figure who allegedly wielded his status to manipulate and control, leaving a trail of harm in his wake.
It has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Now, let's bring Jay-Z into the picture. Just the mention of his name ignites endless comparisons, and with good reason. He's perhaps the only other figure in hip-hop who rivals Diddy's status. Both men built legacies that extend far beyond music, venturing into business, entertainment, and philanthropy, each crafting an empire. But here's where it gets complicated. While Jay-Z's star has only risen, aligning himself with brands, companies, and ventures that amplify his influence, Diddy's legacy has become entangled in controversy. In a twist no one saw coming, Jay-Z has now agreed to testify against his former friend. A stunning move sparking rumors of betrayal, revenge, and a calculated power shift.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Some insiders believe that Jay-Z's decision to testify isn't just about doing the right thing. With a network and power base rivaling Diddy's, Jay-Z may have his own agenda, and some suspect he's seizing this scandal to eliminate his biggest competitor. Imagine it. Two men who once joined forces for charity events, business ventures, and social causes now stand on opposing sides of one of the industry's biggest controversies. When Jay-Z takes the stand, it's not just about justice. It's about a shifting balance of power. In an empire built on influence, anyone in the way risks being pushed aside, and for Jay-Z, This may be the ultimate chance to remove Diddy from his throne.
Controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
But Diddy's fall from grace doesn't end there. His so-called networking events have gained infamy for reasons that go well beyond business. Allegations describe wild gatherings where fame and excess reportedly mingled freely, a stark contrast to the polished public image Diddy sought to maintain. Former attendees and employees paint a picture of events that were far from innocent, where power games took center stage and networking carried a very different meaning. Imagine lavish, exclusive gatherings filled with celebrities, top executives, and household names, participating in activities that pushed boundaries in ways only those with immense influence could manage.
Remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
Insiders claim it was at these gatherings that Diddy's behavior first began to raise eyebrows. Former attendees recount stories of high-profile celebrities and well-known guests, leaving with a sense of unease, realizing that what they expected to be a glamorous event was something else entirely. In these elite circles, what happens often stays hidden, shielded by power and influence. But now, with testimonies emerging and past attendees speaking up, the public is beginning to glimpse what lay behind the glittering facade. What once seemed like exclusive parties are now being exposed as something far darker.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his home.
Diddy isn't alone in this web of infamy. His connections to other controversial figures, such as Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly, have surfaced, stirring even more suspicion. While there's no concrete evidence linking him directly to their actions, his association with these notorious personalities has fueled speculation about what truly transpires behind the scenes in the music industry. Rumors suggest that Diddy's close ties with these figures were not just social. They formed part of an unseen network where each member played a specific role. For some, Diddy's connections to these disgraced figures feel like pieces of a larger puzzle, hinting at a side of the industry that is as secretive as it is.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The connections to Epstein and R. Kelly have only heightened public intrigue, painting a picture of an underground world governed by unspoken rules and veiled threats. It's a realm where high-profile figures protect each other's secrets and safeguard their interests, and anyone who doesn't comply risks being cast aside. The notion that Diddy could have been part of such a network is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Now, as the scandal unfolds, people are left wondering just how deep his connections run and what these associations truly signify.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Then there's the theory that has taken the internet by storm. The notion that Diddy and Jay-Z have been secretly orchestrating events in the music industry as puppet masters. According to this theory, these two didn't just build music empires. They controlled careers, determining who would rise and who would fall, eliminating anyone who threatened their dominance. Social media is flooded with posts dissecting everything from interviews to red carpet appearances, each one speculating on the possibility that Diddy and Jay-Z have been manipulating the industry like marionettes on a stage.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Years, fans have scrutinized their every move, searching for signs of this hidden power play. Moments that once seemed harmless, a side glance, a handshake, a subtle nod, now take on new significance as people comb through old footage, convinced they are uncovering clues to a conspiracy lurking in plain sight. As Diddy's world begins to crumble, these theories have only gained traction, intensified by the reality that his closest allies appear to be abandoning him at his lowest point.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
This is the backdrop as Diddy sits behind bars, facing accusations that could permanently tarnish his legacy. With each new development, it seems that more secrets are surfacing. Secrets that unveil a side of hip-hop's elite that the public was never meant to see. The The once impenetrable walls of his empire are crumbling, revealing the dark corners he spent years concealing from the world. As the trial approaches, one thing becomes clear. The music industry may never be the same again.
So what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that? As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
As we move forward, the focus shifts not only to Diddy's downfall, but also to the complex dynamics at play among his former allies, with Jay-Z stepping into the spotlight as a potential witness. The landscape of hip-hop's power structures is shifting in real time, and people are closely watching to determine whether Jay-Z's actions represent a stand against injustice or a strategic move to solidify his own position. With new evidence emerging, the world is left questioning who is truly in control and what secrets may still lurk in the shadows. After peeling back the layers of Diddy's once untouchable empire, we now have a chilling portrait of a mogul on the edge. It's not just Diddy's world under scrutiny. What's unfolding is a total upheaval within hip-hop's most elite circles. At the center of it all is Jay-Z, a name so powerful it has become its own brand. His decision to testify is more than just a headline. It represents a defining moment that could reshape the entire hip-hop landscape and reveal secrets no one ever imagined would come to light. This is where we dive deeper. We're not just discussing one man's downfall, but examining the power structures that govern the industry and the long-held secrets spilling out in the most public way possible. While Diddy faces the consequences of his past, everyone is watching Jay-Z to see if he will emerge as a voice of truth or if he's simply playing a high-stakes game of survival. So let's explore what lies behind this testimony and what is emerging from the cracks of Diddy's once solid empire.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
As we delve deeper into this investigation, let's begin with the revelations emerging from within Diddy's world since his legal troubles began. Picture this. Former employees, people who worked closely with Diddy for years, are now stepping forward with some shocking and intense claims. They describe a work environment that was not only demanding but allegedly downright toxic. They are not mincing words. Witnesses and lawsuits recount scenes of high-stakes manipulation, emotional control, and a workplace culture steeped in intimidation.
A lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these sexual performances that have been named freak-off.
It's as if these lawsuits have opened a floodgate, allowing all the stories that people were once too afraid to tell to finally come to light. According to one former employee, Diddy was a master at controlling those around him, creating an environment where speaking up could cost you your livelihood or worse. He allegedly leveraged his position to keep people in line, maintaining an iron grip on everyone who worked for him. The lawsuits portray Diddy as a man who knew precisely how to wield his power, employing everything from veiled threats to outright intimidation to ensure that those around him remained silent.
Clearly, there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
The timing of these testimonies is no coincidence. These aren't just old complaints suddenly resurfacing, but rather part of a much larger and darker narrative that's beginning to emerge. People who once felt trapped in silence are finally finding their voices, painting a picture of Diddy that the public has never seen before. From allegations of emotional manipulation to rumors of financial control, each story adds another layer to the complex web of influence he has maintained over the years.
It seems to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, And he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone.
As these testimonies continue to accumulate, another figure has become central to the narrative, Jay-Z. Some might believe that Jay-Z's involvement here is purely about righting wrongs, but others are more skeptical. Is he speaking out now because he genuinely wants to distance himself from Diddy's behavior, or is there something more at play? For years, the two shared the stage as the ultimate duo of hip-hop powerhouses. They were friends, business partners, and allies, or at least that's how it appeared on the surface.
That's not the issue. The issue is it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want.
But now the tables have turned, and it seems that Jay-Z is determined to distance himself from Diddy's downward spiral. This is where things get complicated. While Jay-Z may appear to be stepping forward in the name of justice, some insiders suggest his motives could be more self-serving. There is speculation that his testimony isn't just a quest for justice, but a calculated move to safeguard his own position and ensure that none of this mess sticks to him. It's as if he's navigating a minefield, doing everything possible to avoid getting caught up in the fallout of his former friend's actions.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past, okay?
In fact, it's no secret that Jay-Z's legal team has been working tirelessly to distance him from Diddy's scandal. This isn't just about preserving a friendship, it's about protecting a legacy. Jay-Z's attorneys have reportedly been erecting every possible barrier to separate their client from Diddy, and they are not holding back. Some believe that Jay-Z's true aim here is to leverage Diddy's downfall to his advantage, ensuring that his own brand remains untarnished as his former ally's empire crumbles. This isn't the first time Diddy has managed to sidestep serious consequences. A look at his past reveals a pattern of legal incidents that seem to follow him wherever he goes. From nightclub brawls to mysterious settlements, Diddy's career has been marked by events that, for some reason, never seem to fully stick. It's almost as if he has enjoyed a lifetime of get-out-of-jail-free cards, slipping out of tight situations and keeping his empire intact against all odds.
Well, either way, if you got to run to a private island because your evil doings is doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
But now, with the stakes higher than ever, it appears that Diddy's luck may finally be running out. The legal cases piling up don't just involve money or reputation. They are deeply personal, encompassing accusations of control, manipulation, and a level of influence that surpasses anything the public ever imagined. The kicker this time is that it's not just one isolated incident, it's an entire web of cases and stories, all pointing back to Diddy's alleged actions over the years.
They're going to try everything. They're going to try to transfer him. They're going to try to get him out. In a normal case where it's a high-profile person or a well-funded person, the prosecution and the judge is a little bit more concerned about a wrongful prosecution because people that are mad that they're being arrested for a crime they didn't commit can turn around and file for malicious prosecution.
Then there's the culture of silence that Diddy allegedly fostered within his own organization. We're talking about an environment where people reportedly felt afraid to speak up and hesitant to challenge the status quo. Some former employees describe a workplace where loyalty wasn't just encouraged, it was demanded. Individuals were allegedly pressured to keep quiet about what they witnessed, to look the other way, and to protect the man who held their careers in his hands.
Is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
This wasn't just a typical office environment, it was a world where stepping out of line could cost you everything. According to those who have come forward, Diddy employed every tool at his disposal to keep people silent, ensuring that his secrets remained locked away. In such a setting, individuals learned quickly that loyalty was the only way to survive. However, as the walls come down, all those secrets are finally spilling out. So what role does Jay-Z play in all of this? Was he complicit in Diddy's alleged behavior, or was he simply too close to recognize what was truly happening? For years, Jay-Z remained silent, never once speaking out against his former friend, but now he's breaking that silence. Some wonder if this is a case of too little too late. By finally speaking out, Jay-Z might be attempting to secure his own legacy, but many question why he didn't take action sooner.
There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
In fact, some sources close to the situation are suggesting that Jay-Z's decision to testify might not be as noble as it appears. According to rumors, his legal team has been urging him to take a stand and distance himself from Diddy before things escalate further. There's even talk that Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce, has been applying pressure for him to sever ties with Diddy once and for all. With her influence and reputation at stake, it's no surprise she would want her husband to steer clear of the scandal.
There's no way they can't move in the general population. And would he be at risk? Sure, he'd be at risk. There's so many people that have nothing to lose, right? They're going to be in jail the rest of their life. They've got nothing to. They want their 15 minutes of fame. They were friends with Diddy, or they hurt Diddy, or they Diddy, or they did. I mean, there's so many, people in jail that this would be their moment. You can't put them there. Plus,
Beyonce, a figure who has meticulously crafted her own image over the years, is no stranger to protecting her brand. If rumors are to be believed, she's not pleased about the prospect of Jay-Z being associated with Diddy's alleged behavior. Some insiders suggest that her influence may have been the final push Jay-Z needed to decide to testify. After all, when it comes to power couples, image is everything, and Beyonce understands that better than anyone.
They allegedly has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Adding to the intrigue, Jay-Z's attorney Alex Spau is reportedly playing a major role in shaping his client's strategy. Known for his aggressive approach, Spau has been working tirelessly to create a clean break between Jay-Z and Diddy, erecting every possible defense to safeguard his client's reputation. With Spau in his corner and Beyonce supporting from behind the scenes, it appears that Jay-Z is doing everything he can to navigate this scandal without allowing it to tarnish his legacy.
legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes. Sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
Then we arrive at the evidence that is starting to surface, the so-called vault of materials seized from Diddy's properties. Just imagine the kinds of secrets that could be hidden on those devices. Emails, messages, documents, recordings. Essentially a treasure trove of information that could hold the key to understanding the full scope of what has transpired behind the scenes. According to some sources, what has been found is staggering, with evidence that could provide a whole new perspective on Diddy's alleged activities. People are waiting with bated breath to see what will emerge from this vault, and the anticipation is only fueling speculation. Every piece of information adds to the tension, making it feel as if we are on the brink of a revelation that could change everything. It's like a ticking time bomb ready to explode at any moment, and nobody knows exactly what's inside or how damaging it could be for everyone involved. So what does this all mean for the world of hip-hop and the power structures within it? The simple answer: everything is changing. This scandal isn't just about Diddy. It signifies a much larger shift within the industry. For years, figures like Diddy and Jay-Z have been viewed as untouchable, ruling over their empires with an iron fist. But now, as the scandal unfolds, it's becoming clear that even the biggest names aren't immune to consequences.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
The tension between these two titans might have seemed unthinkable just a few years ago, but recent events suggest their past collaborations were less about friendship and more about strategic maneuvering. These weren't just business deals. They were power plays designed to secure influence and dominance over the entire industry. While the public saw them as partners, insiders claim that a subtle rivalry was always simmering beneath the surface. Now, with Jay-Z's decision to testify, the question on everyone's mind is whether he's merely speaking out or if there's a deeper, calculated plan unfolding.
I've had clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
This is a reckoning, a pivotal moment where the industry is being forced to confront its own dark side as younger artists and fans demand greater transparency and accountability. The old guard is finding it increasingly difficult to keep their secrets hidden. The days of the untouchable elite are fading, fundamentally changing the landscape of hip-hop in real time. This isn't just a scandal. It's a cultural shift, signaling that the power structures within the industry are evolving. As Diddy's trial approaches, the world is watching, eager to see how it all unfolds. Will this be the moment that finally brings down a hip-hop titan, or will Diddy's influence shield him from the consequences of his actions? And what does this mean for Jay-Z and the future of power dynamics in hip-hop? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we uncover even more shocking details.